Hi, I'm Jay, and this is the AprilAire 700 power humidifier. It is roughly the same as the Model 110, 112, 760, 768. They're all powered style humidifiers. And one of the calls that we get on sometimes a regular basis is, I have water leaking out of my humidifier. Now, when it's operating, normally there should be water trickling down the drain. That's normal operation while it's running. However, if you have a situation of water leaking out of the bottom of the humidifier, out of this frame here, okay, or leaking inside of the furnace, leaking right here in this ductwork, or in here, that's a problem. So let's talk about those issues. Okay, a leak right here, that is usually caused by a failure of this connection. Now you can try to tighten this up just a hair, just get a wrench out and give it a twist. If it doesn't solve the problem, what you're going to need to do is take this feed tube, the incoming water, and cut the tube back about 1 inch and put a new brass nut on it, new ferrule, put it back together. So that's an easy fix. If you have a leak over here on this side, that is probably just a loose nut. You can sometimes tighten that up. If there's water leaking from the valve itself, the body of the solenoid valve, there's nothing you can do about that. That is often caused by pitting of the valve. The bronze casting has failed. So if that happens, you need to put a new solenoid valve in. Another thing that can happen is there's a drain spud right here. It's a little nipple that sticks into the bottom of the humidifier. And sometimes when doing maintenance on this, some people will over-tighten this clamp that's right here on the drain spud. And if they over-tighten that, they can crush the drain spud, and then at that point, the drain spud needs to be replaced. The drain spud on many of the models just snaps out and a new one snaps in, so you can easily replace that. The Model 700 unit does not have a replaceable drain spud. It is molded into the cabinet base. So if you have a problem where you've cracked this, you'll need to purchase a new cabinet base for yours. Another thing that can happen is this. Sometimes there'll be water dripping out of here, which I mentioned earlier, okay? Water leaking out of this section here or down here or inside the ductwork. Now, what that is usually caused by is a problem here. If you have not replaced your pad in a long time, these pads need to be replaced a minimum of once a year. If this calcifies up and turns into a brick, the water will have nowhere to go, then it will start leaking out. And you'll have water dripping out of the edges here or down in the ductwork. Another possibility is too much water here. If you feed too much water to the top of this, then water will overflow this water distribution tray and run down the outside and then into the unit itself or into the ductwork. That's normally caused by too much water coming from here. And what meters the water is a little orifice that's right here in the end of this plastic feed tube. If that orifice fails, the hole in it gets too large, or water just deteriorates the little nylon orifice and it just totally disappears, then you're going to have way too much water feeding through this feed tube to the top of this distribution tray. That's an easy cure. You just put a new orifice in. Let's put this back here. Another possibility, and this is a common one, is this feed tube here. This feed tube is made out of a hard plastic, and over time, chemicals in the water and the heat from the furnace will make this brittle and it will crack. So if you have a crack in this, water will be leaking out of this tube, just dripping into the humidifier, and then it will be typically be coming out of this bottom seam here or here where the humidifier touches the ductwork. So that's another rather common issue with water leaking out of the humidifier itself. So that pretty much covers all the problems that are common for water leakage. Thanks for watching. For additional help or questions, feel free to contact us.